Hey guys, what's going on? So before we get started on the video today, I had a request a little bit ago from a young man who has a YouTube channel, and the name of his YouTube channel is Muddy River Outdoors, just like mine. And he's been on YouTube now for a couple months, I think, and this kid, I really like him. He's a young kid. I'm not really sure what his name is or how old he is. I think he's probably 10, 11 years old, something like that. But he's putting out YouTube videos. Has a lot to do with coyote hunting, also some gear reviews and stuff like that. He hit me up and he said, hey, I'm the other Muddy River. He said, would you be willing to give me a shout out on your channel? So he's really trying to build his channel up. And I think it's really awesome. You know, he's out there with his dad, obviously, but his dad's taking him out. He's getting him in the outdoors. He's getting him involved in, hunting, I'm sure fishing, and just the outdoor life. And that's what it's about. I really like to see that. Get these kids off the couch, away from video games, get them out into the real world and teach these kids some things like that. And I just think that's awesome. So do me a favor, run over real quick to the other Muddy River Outdoors channel. You'll see a picture of the young man. I believe he's shooting a coyote or something of that nature, but give him a share, give him a like, and just show that kid some love, get him some subscribers. Again, I'm new at this as well. I was humbled that he would ask me to do that because, quite frankly, I've only got 150 subscribers myself, so I'm new at this. But yeah, get on over there, check that kid out, and show him some love as well. So let's get into this video. Okay, so there's a discussion that I've been seeing lately on some bow fishing platforms. Guys that are just getting into bow fishing, they're asking about batteries. They're asking about batteries, and they're asking about generators. What battery should I buy? What generator should I buy? And so what it comes down to is, from what I've noticed, most guys that get into bow fishing, we kind of start off with a budget, and we don't have all the gear that it takes, to have the boat and have the lights and have all that stuff. And so you work into it slowly because honestly, you don't know, if this is something that you're going to want to stick with for a long time and invest a large amount of money. So it's just human nature, I think, that you're going to want to start off small. And naturally, when you're starting off and you get your boat, you want to put lights on it or a trolling motor, and you almost always start off running those things off of batteries. I did the same thing. So you got choices when you do that. You can run 12-volt lights, 12-volt trolling motors. You can run 24-volt lights, 24-volt trolling motors. You can run 36-volt trolling motors and so on. But the thing with batteries that I ended up just not liking when I was running my lights is, I got the biggest batteries that I could find without breaking the bank, okay? I went to O'Reilly's, and O'Reilly's carries these Super Start batteries. When you're buying your batteries, guys, if that's what the route is that you decide you want to go, you need to get the biggest, baddest battery that you can find that is a deep cycle, okay? You don't want to buy a regular starting battery. Those are two different types of batteries that operate differently. I'm not a techie person, so I'm not even going to try to get into the specifics of that stuff. If you're interested in that, check out White River Rambo, Dustin Apple. That guy, he's a techie guy. He's got a video out there that I've probably watched 10 times, tells you all about batteries and that sort of stuff. So get on over there and check him out. But what I did was, I could not afford your Optima battery. That's what a lot of guys run, is that I believe it's the yellow top Optima battery, and I couldn't afford that, especially running a 24-volt system, because you need two of them, right? So the Super Start battery that you can get from O'Reilly's, now this battery is a class 31 battery, okay? That's what you want to be looking for to run your lights and your trolling motor, is a class 31. I do know that. Again, I can't speak intelligently about exactly what that means. As far as I'm concerned, that just means it's big and bad. But the other thing, the really important thing that you're wanting to look for is the reserve capacity, okay? What that reserve capacity is how long this battery can discharge a certain amount of amperage for a certain amount of time, okay? This particular battery from O'Reilly's, the reserve capacity on it is 185. That is up there pretty good with your higher dollar batteries, okay? That reserve capacity that this one is, it's right up there with those other batteries. And this battery is right at $100. Those other batteries, they can be upwards of $300. So, you know, you can see the difference there. For me personally, I couldn't see investing that kind of money in batteries. So this is the battery that I went with. And as long as you take good care of these batteries, make sure you get them on the charger, get them back on the charger as soon as you're done with them, and keep them charged and keep that power level, you know, all the way down and all the way up. These batteries have held up pretty good for me. I got a few of them here, as you can see through the years. I've had to replace a few of them, but they've served me well. So I highly recommend, if you decide that you do want to go with batteries, but you don't want to break the bank, get over to O'Reilly's and check out these Superstart batteries. These are a marine battery. So like I said, it's 31 class. It is 185 reserve capacity. Yeah, just if that's what you're looking for, go ahead and do that. Now, like I said, I finally got to the point where batteries just were not working out for me. You know, you can only fish for so long before they go dead. And I was fishing, you know, heck, till the sun would come up, and my batteries were dying. I wasn't making it. And then the other problem is, if you decide that you want to get into shooting, you know, more than, like, if you want to go out Friday night and then you want to go out Saturday night, well, you got to get these things on the battery, and they might not be completely charged up in time to get back out there the next day. Or if you go to a tournament and you want to go scout, you know, the night before and then hit the tournament, getting these batteries charged back up quickly, you got to drop some serious cash on a really good battery charger now to get these things charged back up. It just got to be a hassle for me personally. But my logic, when I first started, when I decided to go with batteries, my logic was I didn't want to listen to the generator run all night long. You know, I'd been out and I'd heard these guys with their boats, and I'd heard the generators, and I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want to scare the fish away. I had this mentality that the generators were going to scare the fish away. And then somebody said the most amazing thing to me that I should have thought of. They're like, I thought that the noise of the generators would scare the fish. But then they're like, fish don't have ears. Fish can't hear. And I was like, holy crap, that makes complete sense. Now, I know I got probably 100 guys right now that's going, you dummy. No, they can't hear, but they feel vibration, okay? The generators, obviously, sound puts off vibration. The motor's running puts off vibrations to go through the boat, and it goes into the water. So that is a give and take. I understand that. But, you know, most of these generators have got rubber cushions on the bottom, and then I have a rubber mat that goes across the bottom of my boat that these set on to absorb a lot of that vibration that goes into the water. So after I started running generators, I've never once noticed the generators bothering fish. I just haven't noticed it. And when you look out there, most of the guys run generators. Almost everybody that is a top bow fisherman runs a generator. And so if those guys are doing it and it's working for them, I think we're safe running generators. So if that's your mentality of why you're wanting to go to a battery, I highly recommend rethinking that and just going straight to a generator. Now, if money is your motivating factor for going to this, I don't want to buy a generator. I'd rather buy 2 batteries, spend $200, you know, and go that route. Well, maybe. But even with batteries, guys, you still have to buy that expensive battery charger, and these batteries only last so long, you know, a couple years of beating the crap out of them, going up, going down with the charge and everything. So while they might be a little bit less expensive, at the end of the day, for me personally, I really like going with generators. Now, the very first generator that I bought was this guy right here. I bought it because of the money factor. This is the Generac 2000 watt generator, and I think I paid $400 or $500 for it, something like that. I can't remember. I actually got this on Amazon. It was one of the slightly used. Basically, the box was messed up. This is brand new. The box was just messed up, so I got a little bit better deal on this from Amazon, and it was okay. I've ran this thing a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've beat the crap out of this thing. It's filthy. It served me pretty well. But what I did notice with this Generac generator is it does not like to run my Minn Kota battery charger. There were times when, like, I would be out of town and I'd run my batteries down at night, and because I was still running these batteries, even after I switched my lights over to the generator, I still was running batteries for my trolling motor. And so I'd have to charge my batteries back up, and I was trying to use this generator with my Minn Kota battery charger, and I don't know why, but that Minn Kota did not like this generator. I think it's dirty power. I don't know if you guys are really familiar with what dirty power is, but this generator just didn't work super good for that. Worked fine running the lights, but when it got into actual electrical components and stuff like that, chipboards, wasn't happening. So I ended up getting to the point where I needed two generators. So this one is the Pulsar 2000. Again, I think I bought this on Amazon. Just about in the same price range. I think this one's a little bit less expensive actually than the Generac. This one, honestly, has been a better generator than the Generac. This Pulsar, it has no problem running my Minn Kota battery charger. Yeah, I mean, basically the same thing, but this one I think puts off cleaner power, works quite a bit better. So this is what I started off with. So once I went to the generator, and I decided that I wanted to get away from batteries. I wanted to run my lights off of a generator. So in order to do that, I had to get a converter to convert the 110 volts over to, I was running 24 volt lights at the time. And so again, now I was spending more money. I had bought LED lights. I had upgraded to custom fits LED lights, 100 watt custom fits LED lights. I'm going to do another video here in a little bit about lights, but for right now, we'll just skip over that and talk about this. So I had to run that converter from this to my lights, and I ended up getting a PowerMax converter. Highly recommend PowerMax. If you're looking at converters to go from 110 volt to 12 volts, 24 volts, 36, whatever, I highly recommend PowerMax. I actually caught one on fire one time. I had a fire on the boat, and that converter was in the fire, and that thing still works to this day. It's all charred and it's all nasty, but man, that thing still works. So if you're looking for converters, go to PowerMax. PowerMax also makes generators. This big guy over here, this is also a PowerMax generator. Now, what I finally got to now that I don't have built yet, because as you can see behind me, my boat's in the paint booth. I'm repainting my boat, but what I'm gonna go to now is I am getting completely rid of all batteries. I was running my lights off of a generator with a converter, but I was still running my trolling motor off of batteries. And same problem, these batteries would die after so long. I mean, and it just gets monotonous having your batteries go dead and wondering, you know, if your trolling motor is not pulling very well. I wonder if my batteries are getting dead. And batteries, for me personally, just got to be a real pain. So what I did was I called up PowerMax. I called them up. I told them the trolling motor that I have and the lights that I'm running. They looked up everything that I had, everything that I'm running, and they figured out exactly what I needed for a generator and what I needed for converters to run everything on my boat so that I can get completely away from batteries. Now, another problem that I personally had with batteries, I was carrying 4 of these batteries right here, plus I was carrying 2 of these up here for my motor. For, you know, starting the big motor, I had 2 of those batteries, so I was carrying 5 batteries. These batteries are 56 pounds a piece. You know, that's 230 pounds, something like that. That's around 230 pounds just in batteries. And I had these clear up towards the bow of my boat. And so by the time I had the Bowfishing deck, 4 batteries, 250 pounds of batteries, and whatever gear, I was really getting a lot of weight on the front of my boat. Plus, I was carrying typically 1, but a lot of times I would carry 2 generators just in case one of them quit working or I had a problem. And these are about 50 pounds a piece as well. I was carrying a lot of weight in batteries and generators. So now what I've done is I've gotten rid of all those batteries. I've gotten rid of these 2 generators, and I'm down to this guy right here. This is all I'm gonna have is just this 4,500 watt PowerMax generator and 3 converters so that I can get 36 volts to my new trolling motor. Now, you're wondering about lights. Just like everybody, I started off with 12 volt Amazon cheapy lights, and I'm gonna tell you, there's nothing wrong with those cheap Amazon lights, man. Buy those. If that's the budget that you're in, go ahead and buy those lights and don't apologize to anybody about it, all right? I have shot a ton of fish under some cheap Amazon lights. Nothing wrong with them. But as you get into it more, you're gonna want more lights, bigger lights. And what you find is when you're at 12 volts, you're pulling a lot of amps, okay? So then you're gonna step up to 24 volts. The higher voltage that you're gonna run, the less amps you pull, okay? Less amps, less heat, and it's easier to run it. So keep that in mind. If you're trying to set up a boat, just keep this stuff in mind, and you know, you might decide to just skip all that lower end stuff and just go right straight for the bigger generator, converters, 110 volt lights, okay? That's where I ended up at. 110 volt lights, you just plug them right into the generator. You don't have to have converters. They pull less amps. Less amps, you're putting more lights on your boat, right? So there's huge, huge benefits to just going straight to a generator and not even messing with batteries. Now, the drawback is generators run out of gas, right? Well, you can carry a little bit more gas, that's not a big deal. But generators die too, periodically, you know? I mean, they're mechanical. They're not foolproof. So, but, you know, nothing's perfect. So this generator right here is right at 100 pounds. Well, I was already carrying 2 of these, which is 100 pounds, plus all my batteries. So all I've done is just replace these 2 generators with this one and chucked 250 pounds off of my boat. And I'm really excited about this setup. I think for me, that's what's gonna really work really well. So I really don't have much else to talk about here. Like I said, I'm not a super techie guy. I don't know all of the data points and everything for batteries and for generators and everything. You know, obviously 2,000 watt generators, 2,000 watts is the peak that these things will put out, and not consistently. You know, if you're wanting to run, you should run your generators around 80%. If you're doing the calculations on your lights and your wattage and your amps and everything compared to your generators, they need to run around 80%, 85, 90, starting to push it, in order to save the life of the generator. I mean, you can run these things wide open if you want, but you know, you're gonna shorten the life of these things for sure. But like this 4500, I think the normal running load on this is 3700. I think is what this one is. So these 2000s, I think the normal is, I don't know, 1400, 1500, something like that, depending on which one you get. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your calculation. You know, just because it says 2000 or 4500, you don't want to max that out all the time, because you'll be popping breakers and you're not going to do yourself any favors there. So anyhow, that's pretty much all I got for that. Just wanted to do a real quick video here on batteries versus generators. I started bow fishing probably 8-9 years ago, and I went through the whole gambit of starting off at 12 volts, and now I'm at a cube generator, 4,500 watt generator, and I've completely gotten rid of my batteries. Like I said, if you're getting into building a boat and everything, I would really highly recommend taking a serious look at just going with generators instead of the batteries, because at the end of the day, you're going to end up here anyways. But if you're like me, you got to learn for yourself. You got to go through the school of hard knocks. And that's fine. That's cool too. Nothing wrong with that. So one other thing though about batteries, you know, if you're fishing in lakes or even rivers where there's a lot of houses, right? People get upset about the amount of noise that bow fishermen make, and you know, our lights at night bother people, and our generators bother people. So if that's something that you want to take into consideration, you know, if you're going to be on a private lake, you might want to go with batteries and stay away from the generators just for the noise factor. You know, it's completely up to you and your situation. So anyhow, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, share. Like I said, I'm trying to build my channel as well here. Trying to put out some content that possibly is helpful to some guys. Also, I'm not a master of any of this. I would love to hear comments from you guys. I want to learn from you guys as well. So please, if you got stuff that you think I could learn from, hit me up in the comments below and tell me what you're thinking. So thanks for watching, guys.